What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Welcome to the RNEWS morning show. And let's just jump into it. From r/news, leader of North Carolina lockdown protest group tests positive for COVID-19. Spoiler alert, she learned nothing. Spoiler alert, she is incapable of learning anything. She didn't. But my bigger question is why she got tested. How does someone who was out protesting, encouraging others to do the same, and asymptomatic end up getting tested? Did she have a change of heart after being outside all day? And why wasn't that test used for someone who deserves it? My guess, and it's an out on a limb guess, is that she is lying about being asymptomatic. She probably had enough symptoms to raise a slight red flag, and coupled with her being at their protests, someone probably thought it would be best to test her just to be on the safe side. And I bet she had hoped that she could come out as negative. That way she could say, "Hey, we don't need this quarantine. I was at the protests. I was everywhere. I didn't take any precautions and nothing happened to me. I am negative." Testing positive and being fine is better for her BS argument. Unfortunately, going outside and didn't get it isn't nearly as powerful a statement to dum-dums as "See, I got it and I'm fine, so why shouldn't we all get it and just move on like me?" There will be mental gymnastics of Olympic levels performed either way. Getting corona to own a libs. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, Christie tests positive for coronavirus. Positive COVID-19 cases related to recent events. Topics: Trump Senior Counsel. Former Trump WH Communications Director Donald Trump, President Melania Trump, First Lady Ronna McDaniel, RNC Chair Mike Lee, Republican Senator, UT Rev. John Jenkins, President of the University of Notre Dame, attended SCOTUS nomination at Rose Garden. 3 unnamed journalists and 1 unnamed WH staffer. Tom Tillis, Republican Senator, North Carolina, was at WH onset. Kellyanne Conway, former White House counselor, attended Rose Garden event. Bill Stepien, Trump campaign manager. Ron Johnson, Republican Senator, Wisconsin. Christie, former Republican NJ Gov, helped prepare Trump for debate. Nick Luna, Trump aide. Help yourself. Help others. Wear a mask. Social distance as best you can by keeping a 6 feet distance between people and avoiding unnecessary social interaction. Every little bit helps. RNC chair is named Ronna. My God, this tragedy writes itself. She's Mitt Romney's niece. Used to have Romney as a hyphenated last name but dropped it during the Trump crap show. Denounced her uncle's name for the dear leader. Alienating your family to own the lib school. Eyes slowly turn to Bill Barr. There's a recent pic of him right next to Kellyanne, who recently tested positive. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, Twitter bans posts wishing for Trump death. The squad wonders where that policy was for them. Not to mention that wishing for someone's death from disease has 0 chance for causing that death, while calling for someone's violent death actually endangers them. Trump's policy, actions and inaction, resulted in the unnecessary deaths of 200,000 Americans. But if you don't wish him a speedy recovery, you must be a horrible person. And he felt 0 remorse over a single one of those deaths. Omar probably gets more death threats than all GOP senators combined. Build her a Gundam, damn it. White rich men getting preferential treatment? I'm shocked. Now hold on just a goddamned minute. We don't even know if he's rich. It's called a double standard, which is standard in the USA. GOP and their voters are held to the lowest standard imaginable. In this country, American means white. Everybody else has to hyphenate. Toni Morrison. They're probably still getting death threats today, but that kind of free speech gets to be upheld. For reasons. Why would they say that? There's no bias here. Twitter treats all men the same. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/news, official autopsy shows black man killed by Los Angeles deputies was shot 16 times. Textbook media manipulation right here. Had to go through 7 paragraphs to find out the dude reached for a stolen gun he dropped before police shot him. This comment section is surprisingly level-headed. Is this Reddit? Kizzy's 9mm semi-automatic pistol, which was reported stolen in 2017, fell to the ground during the encounter with deputies. Wegener said. Christie bent over and reached back to pick up the pistol before deputies fired 19 rounds. He said, the gun in Christie's possession was loaded with 15 live rounds. According to Wegener, I don't see why there's outrage over this. He refused to comply and was in possession of a gun. Stolen at that. Headline was written like this for a reason. Frick CNN. Literally a slightly better version of Fox News. Both are hot garbage, and any news I see from CNN I take with a grain of salt, just like I would Fox. It's a sad time to be alive when the very outlets that are supposed to bring us facts would rather force their opinions on us instead of letting us form them on our own. News should be straight facts, not littered with the opinions of some writer, and especially not based on some agenda from a frickin' corporation. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, GOP superspreader event is now known as #Rose Garden Massacre. Shoulda left Jackie's flowers alone. 11 years on here and never woke up to so many awards. One of these I didn't know it existed. Thanks y'all. Vote. We gotta fix this 4-year mess. Getting, you only moved the headstones. Vibes from this. Right, like really Melania, you think you have better taste than Jackie Kennedy. This is a fact. If any house is haunted in America, it's a White House. And if it is haunted by anyone, it's the frickin' Kennedys. All of them. I'd watch American Horror Story, White House. What do you mean? I thought we were. Edit. Thanks for my first award. Are we going with Typhoid Amy, or Amy COVID Barrett? The Contagious ACB. Kellyanne COVID. Typhoid Trump. I've heard the whole event referred to as the red betting. RBG, tell Trump. I want him to know it was me. I.red.it. That's the one. Well done. It's even more perfect if you say it in a Russian accent. The red spreading. That's hot, I think. It will go away. Just stay calm. It will go away. Donald Trump, March 10, 2020. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, GOP Senator Ron Johnson went to Oktoberfest party after testing positive for COVID-19. So what were the legal consequences of infecting people on purpose? Back in the day, if you knew you had HIV and didn't inform a partner and they contracted the virus, you went to jail. Guy the first graduated with went to jail for this. www.cleveland.com. What was he like as a person? Annoying as all hell and a dick. He'd walk around saying, I'll drop you, and just a turd in general. One day in computer class he leaned back in his chair and said, I'm ripped. And then someone chucked a mouse ball and made him fall. He also insisted that he was at least 12 feet from anybody during his speech at the event, which was sponsored by the Ozaukee County Republican Party. Calling it now. We're gonna see pictures of him posing with donors leaking to the press soon. Bear hugs. Full-on bear hugs. The dumbness has no rock bottom. For Republicans, stupidity is fractal. They can always go deeper into it. Technically, it says, during his speech, not before or afterwards. Weasel words. They're so damn good at weasel words. Why don't we as a nation ever hold anyone accountable for weasel words? It's lying at its core. Remember when people went to jail for licking ice cream? Seems to me that the same rules should apply with extra enforcement of penalties, because he knows he is infectious with a deadly disease. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like. And if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show, and I'll see you tomorrow.